So Michael Hestbeck from Denmark, 44, Copenhagen. You've won something like 25 medals, championship medals at mostly kind of European level. You represented Denmark at the London Games, came 11th last year, and you're here in Bahamas with your crew, Claus Olesen. Michael, what do you think of this regatta?
I think it's a new, good vision that Michel has. He want to try and do something in the star class which is hasn't been seen before. It's been done in other classes. The thing about bringing prize money in is something we all dream of, but it rarely ever happens. I've done 49 regattas in the past where there's been some kind of prize money, close racing, media coverage. It's been seen, but it's something we haven't had in the star class, so I'm looking forward to see how it all develops.
With that experience, does it make a difference having a prize structure, an actual financial incentive here?
I think it has a difference in terms of the level of sailors that would show up. It sort of pushes it towards one direction. For sure it does. I mean, if we do well here, we get our expenses covered and maybe a bit on top of that. Normally you got to have funding from federation or sponsors to support your racing, but having prize money could sort of even that up.
And like any regatta, any Olympic class regatta, you know, you guys are very realistic. You set your goals and you have various different targets. I wonder if you could tell us what you and Claus, what are your targets here?
Claus and I has had a short and sharp campaign in only 10 months leading up to the Olympics, and there we had a steep improving curve, and we ended up shortly before the Olympics being third of the world. So our expectations would definitely be to hit the top 10, and that would be realistic for us. We do also dream about being between the last four and have a shot at fighting it out there. When you got one race deciding everything, you can only guess and you can only go out and do your best, but yeah, you know, we're gonna fight and see if we can hit the last four.
Your experience, you've obviously done 2 Olympics in 49ers, which is a kind of very sporty class, and the star class. What can you tell us about the star class? You know, in windy conditions, what's unusual about them?
I've sailed all kind of different boats, from Optimist, done a lot of laser sailing in the past, and big boats up to 100-foot big boats. But one thing that always brings your attention is when you go out in the star and it's plus 20 knots, there's always this in the back of your head that you got to look out for the mast. And today actually we were sailing in this 18-20 knots, like 10 boats out practicing, and we hesitated a second too long in a jibe, so sort of the jibe came around, a little bit too much pressure in it, and we were so close to losing the mast. It's something you don't do in other classes. Either you broach, you capsize or whatever, but the mast usually stays upright. In the stars there's always this joker that if you flick it too long, it'll hit you hard.
Okay, so there's jeopardy involved here, some mast breakages potentially during this regatta, which could be bad but great too from a media point of view. Just final question, you know, you're a sort of dedicated Olympic class athlete, and we're here in the glamour of the Bahamas and everything. Just give us an insight into, you know, how much goes into being a top level athlete on the Star, the 49er, and the Finn, any of these. You know, how much does it take of your life?
I think it's a lifestyle. You gotta, you know, always have sailing as a first priority. All of us that are here has had that since we were 10, 5, 15 years old maximum. You gotta do it from very young, and for sure there are some things you gotta turn down, and you're not always focused, but it's always in the back of your mind that sailing is your first priority, and that is what you live for if you're an athlete. Doesn't matter what sport you do.